Some of the most important moments in life, they don't arrive with a plan. They arrive as a message, a simple message.
Hey bro, I'm free this weekend, you wanna come?
And the strange thing is, the moment itself is small, but the decision that follows can quietly change everything. Because sometimes the hardest thing in life is not doing something big, it's simply saying yes. In this case, to a trip, a very short trip. One that started with a message from a close friend. We both work in creative fields. He runs a production company as a director, and I spend most of my time between photography and filmmaking, and trying to keep up with work that really never stops. So like many adult friendships, most of our conversations had slowly become messages, voice notes, and occasional video calls. And honestly, this is normal. We all say the same thing. Next week, next month, next year. There's always something to finish first. A deadline, a project, a responsibility that feels impossible to pause. And we convince ourselves it's temporary, that we'll make time later. Sometimes those obligations are really that important. Sometimes they're just distractions. Small daily commitments that slowly pull us away from meaningful moments and from the people who actually matter. I didn't realize this because I read it somewhere. I realized it because of what happened this time. A simple message, a spontaneous decision, and a weekend that ended up becoming one of the most meaningful experiences I had in a long time. We stayed in a really nice place on the coast, somewhere in Spain. No big plans, no schedule. Just slow mornings, coffee, walks along the ocean, and long conversations about life and creativity. Simple moments that only happens when time slows down. And something interesting happens when you remove the constant noise of everyday life. Your mind opens. You start seeing things more clearly. Not just about your life, but about the direction you're taking. And this is something we don't value enough. We believe connection can survive entirely through screens, but some conversations require presence. But what he said to me during one of those conversations stayed with me longer after the trip ended. One day we were having a drink and he said something simple. He explained to me how life gives us exactly what we clearly ask for. But most people never show it clearly. Because fear gets in the way. Old beliefs, external pressure, or the idea that what we want might be unrealistic. And the strange thing is, many times we don't even notice how those beliefs are quietly guiding our decisions, the projects we accept, the opportunities we decline, or the risks we never take. And when you start paying attention to what you really want and start acting in alignment with that, life slowly reorganizes around that intention. And that realization hit me in a place I was not expecting. But something else also surprised me. The trip was not over. What started as a weekend visit ended up turning into a few extra days exploring the north of Portugal, completely unplanned.
Be fun now.
And those extra days created even more space, more conversations, more reflections, more moments where life felt aligned. And that's something I've noticed many times. Momentum in life rarely begins with huge decisions. It begins with small ones. One message, one trip, one yes. But we miss those moments all the time because we're too busy protecting our schedule. And that's when I realized something important. The real risk in life isn't saying yes too often. The real risk is saying no to things that really matter. Being busy can feel productive. But sometimes, it is just comfortable. It protects us from uncertainty, from being spontaneous, from making decisions that break the routine. But when I look back at that trip, the important moments were not planned. They all started with a decision that took less than 5 minutes, booking a flight. But that decision created something much bigger, a reminder that life doesn't always reward perfect planning. Sometimes it rewards courage, but more often, it rewards simple presence. So this trip wasn't about travel. Maybe it wasn't even about visiting a friend. It was about remembering something we all forget. The things that actually matter are the ones we keep postponing. And the reminder that some of the most meaningful moments in life start with something very small. So here's something I'd like you to try. Think about one thing in your life right now. Something big or small. Something that you've been postponing. Maybe a trip, maybe a message, maybe reconnecting with someone. And ask yourself one question. What is actually stopping me from saying yes to that? I'm not asking to change your whole life. Just try it one time. Say yes once. And if you do, please come back here and tell me what happened. Because you might be surprised how often life is waiting for that one decision.